Okay, today we will talk about the wireless management service as in the CAP manager with the IP management. This is, I think, the wireless service is very popular in Philippines and all Thailand, very popular, and can easily define the configuration and can easily to use the CAP manager set to CAP access point. You don't need to do anything with the CAP access point. First, let me introduce me. My name is Surachai Kaewwong. I have more 7 years experience for the network engineering and network consulting is many companies in Thailand. For the wireless solution and network solution and for the ISP, I have certified for MTC, AWE, CTCE, RE, and UME. If you have any problem or any question, you can send an email to me. I can answer you everything. First, we have to look about the objective for. The issue is why we have to assign an IP address to the CAP access point, and how to create a different service from the CAP manager to the CAP or CAP access point. For the CAP manager or the CAP manager is the basic, and let you know CAP manager. What is CAP manager? CAP manager is a CAP controller access point system manager. For the CAP is the controller access point. The CAP manager is can set configuration to the CAP. For the CAP, as I say you, for the CAP is just access point only. CAP manager to connect to the CAP access point CAP manager can set access points via the layer 2 connection and layer 3 connection. At the layer 2 connection, you can connect CAP access point to the CAP manager. Then the CAP manager can set configuration to CAP access point. For the layer 3, you have to set the IP address to the CAP manager and set the CAP access point and know the IP address of the CAP manager first. For more detail for CAP manager, you can go to the wiki.mikrotik.com and you can search the CAP manager. So we will look about the first diagram for the how to the CAP manager connect to CAP access point. If you see the diagram, this is for the CAP manager and this is for the CAP AP. If you set for the layer 2 connection, for the CAP manager must the same broadcast domain and same segment. You connect this, the CAP manager, and can set configuration to CAP AP. You can see the diagram is very easy for connection. So you can connect with the LAN cable to the CAP manager, and CAP manager can deploy configuration to CAP AP. This is way too easy, but have many problems because layer 2 is like the bridging. You cannot set more access point on the bridging because if you set like this, you will have the mini broadcast domain on your network. So the scale should be small and middle. If your CAP access points have more than the 500 CAP access points, you cannot use this way for connection. We have to go to the next. This one will show you about how to use the CAP manager connect to CAP access points via the IP address. Via the IP address, you will see the IP address from the CAP manager to another router. Is not same subnetwork, and also for CAP access point, not same subnetwork. Also, the condition for the CAP manager connect to the CAP access point for the layer 3 or via the IP address. The CAP manager can reasonable the IP address of CAP access point. Also, CAP access point can reasonable the IP address of CAP manager. Then you can use CAP manager set configuration to the CAP access point. Then we have to look at the network diagram. As we mentioned how to deploy this multi-service from the CAP manager to CAP access point. This is the CAP manager. We have to set the management IP address to CAP manager first. Then we provide the service. At this example, we are provide the service for the service 1, service 2, and service 3 for the CAP manager. For the service 1, we will provide to the coffee shop. If the same building, you have the 3 set points in the same building. But 3 set points for the 3 service. One service for coffee shop, and second service for the canteen, and second and third service for the classroom. So at the coffee shop, the 1, 2 is a different network. Also, canteen, one different network. Also, classroom, one different. Some coffee shop, you can apply service like the hotspot service, prepaid service, and another network, and another service that you want to provide to that. You can set up the service 1 to the CAP manager, and service 2 to CAP manager, and service 3 to CAP manager. And let the CAP manager that deploy service 1 to the coffee shop, and service 2 to classroom, and service 3 to canteen. Then I will say you easy to understand for the CAP manager how to CAP manager work and what is CAP manager and what is CAP access point. Okay, as you see diagram like CAP manager. CAP manager will have the one service profile. The service profile will say the CAP access point use the access point mode and SSID for the CAP access point, and the band is 2 GHz or 5 GHz up to the CAP AP is hardware compatible. And also the data path. Data path will be defined for the service as you want. And the service 1 for the AP1, service 2, AP2, service 3 for APT. For this view is only this one service. One service 1, 2 is deployed to every CAP access point. That I tell you first, for the layer 2 connection, CAP manager and CAP is a same segment or same broadcast domain. CAP 1 is same broadcast domain with same segment with the CAP manager, and CAP 2 same segment with CAP manager, but CAP 3 not same segment. So CAP manager can set the configuration to CAP 1 and CAP 2, but cannot set configuration to CAP 3 because the CAP 3 is not same segment on the CAP manager for this scenario. For another one, as say the CAP manager have the 2 services for the service 1 profile and service 2 profile. CAP manager 1 to provide service 1 profile to the CAP 1 and service 2 profile to the CAP 2. Then you connect the CAP 3 on the network or on the same segment. The CAP manager cannot set configuration for CAP 3 because the CAP manager don't know the CAP 3. The way as CAP manager will set configuration to CAP 1 and CAP 2, and have one thing important, the CAP manager must know MAC address for the CAP 1. Then CAP manager can set the configuration profile 1 to CAP 1, and CAP manager must know the MAC address of the CAP 2. Then CAP manager can set configuration to AP and CAP 2 with different configuration, different SSID, different data paths. So that means CAP 1 and CAP 2 now is not same the network, not same subnet. So another way, that this topology is like the layer 3 connection. As a last scenario, you see the CAP manager don't have the IP management. Also, the CAP don't have the IP management. If you want to use the layer 3 connection, you have to set the IP address of CAP manager, also the IP address of CAP access point on CAP access point, and CAP access point must know the IP address of CAP manager. As I told you first about, if the layer 3 work, CAP manager must disable the IP address of CAP AP, and also the CAP AP must disable the IP address of the CAP manager. Then this solution will work. If the CAP manager can list the CAP can list the CAP manager. So the CAP can sets CAP manager IP address to CAP manager. CAP manager will deploy the service 1 profile to the set to the CAP 1 and CAP 2. We got this configuration to the end user. Then we have to do for layer 3 connection again, but now the different. CAP manager have the 2 services. 2 services will be set to the CAP access point 1, and service 2 profile will be set to the access point 2. Then CAP managers know the 2 MAC address for the CAP 1 and know the MAC address for the CAP 2. Then CAP managers say the service 1 profile is set to the CAP 1 and service 2 profile set to the CAP 2. You will see the CAP 1 and CAP 2 is not same the SSID, different SSID. Also the different network. Okay, for final issue for the CAP manager. You know now the network for LT have 2 services. Service 1 to the CAP manager 1, but If the CAP manager, CAP2 is set the wrong IP address of CAP manager, now the CAP manager is this IP address, but the CAP access point set IP address to another IP address. That means the CAP manager cannot set the CAP2 access point for configuration. So for this scenario, the CAP manager can set the configuration to only the CAP1 for configuration. This is everything for the easy for configuration for the CAP manager for set configuration to CAP AP. Then, except the layer 2 and layer 3 connection on the CAP manager to the CAP access point, you can be use the hybrid. Like you have some access points connect the same segment or same broadcast domain, and another one that use CAP manager IP address. This one will show you about the CAP access point one can connect the CAP manager via the IP address. Mean the CAP access point one can connect the CAP manager via layer 3. Then CAP2 access point they can connect the CAP manager via the layer 2. Mean the CAP access point 2 they can get the CAP manager can set configuration to CAP2 via the same network or same broadcast domain. So CAP manager can be also support the hybrid. You can use the layer 2 and layer 3 is the same together on your network. Right, the layer 2 is you have your home. You connect the set point in your home. It is the same broadcast domain or same segment. You can use this way for layer 2 connection. But if the network, building 1 and building 2 is not same the network, you can use the layer 3 connection for the CAP manager. Deploy configuration to the CAP access point. We will do the service as how to the CAP manager as apply the multiple service to the CAP access point. This one will show for the CAP manager. CAP manager have the management IP address and CAP manager enabled on this service on this router. Then CAP manager is must know the MAC address of the CAP1, know the MAC address CAP2, know MAC address on the CAP3. Then CAP manager is a positioning configuration for the coffee shop CAP1 is profile coffee. Then positioning configuration is profile canteen, and the configuration is profile classroom. So the CAP access point the configuration have two the IP address for management and enable CAP. Then point to the CAP manager IP address. Same canteen also have management IP address, and CAP enable and CAPsMAN address must know for CAP manager. The classroom also same, have the management IP address, but management IP address and mothers on the same subnetwork. Okay, this is the service configuration diagram. For the CAP manager service configuration diagram, first you have to deploy a service. This is service for the coffee shop. This is service for the canteen. This is service for the classroom. You will see the configuration is the same. Like the coffee shop, the IP address 192.168.10.1/34, and the DHCP on. Also, the DHCP pool will be as high as 2.2.254. Also, it's for the canteen, the IP address is not same network with the coffee shop. Also, the classroom not same the network of coffee shop. It's different. Then you have to go to the CAP manager for the configuration, the management IP address. For management IP address, then the CAPsMAN enable. Then go to make configuration profile for set to the every access point as you want to say. Right, the profile coffee is the mode access point, band 2 GHz, SID coffee shop, and data path the bit coffee. You will use bit coffee is to go to this configuration profile, and profile canteen you will set mode AP. Also band you can set the 2.4 GHz or 5 GHz service up to your hardware as I say. For the SID, the UC canteen, this is different for the profile 1 and profile 2. Also profile 3 also different. This is SID will be the classroom. You is take profile classroom to data path. Then finally, you go to the position. You say MAC address 11 is the configuration profile is the coffee. 2 is the configuration 1. Positioning is the MAC address 1, 2. 2 is for canteen. And position MAC address 1, 3 for the classroom for the configuration. If you do configuration like this, you will be finished configuration for the CAP manager. It will be easy for you, everybody. Then, this is the easy than the CAP manager. At the CAP access point, you can set just only the IP address and go to the CAP enable and select interface the VLAN. If you have the two the VLAN interface, 2 wireless LAN interface, you can set 2 wireless LAN interface. And you point CAP manager address to CAP manager. Because this will be use the layer 3 connection CAP manager with the CAP access point. So for the CAP2, for the canteen, management IPs and same segment but not same ID. So also classroom, you have to set the IP address and CAP enable, interface VLAN and CAP manager IP address for this. So for step configuration, for the configuration, you go to the router OS and use the Winbox go to the router OS. Then you go to bit and you create new bit and you say bit name. First, bit name also is a bit coffee for the coffee shop. Second is the bit canteen for canteen, and first final bit classroom for classroom service. You make the 3 bits on the Winbox. Then you go to for set the management IP address. You go to IP address for set the management IP address for configuration. Then you go to CAP. You go to bits and set the IP address to every bit for the network. Right? The bit canteen is service 1. Bit coffee service 2. Bit classroom service 3. You can set the IP address different network. You can provide hotspot to the bit coffee because now the coffee shop is a light hotspot service because the hotspot service must pay the prepaid and postpaid the tickets for the user. Or you can use a free service for hotspot. Then you go to configuration CAPsMAN. You go to the CAPsMAN menu. Then you go to configuration and you add a new configuration. And you go to the wireless tab. The name you can set the profile name or the most. Now the CAP manager supports only the access point mode. And the SSID, you can set the SSID as you say. Then you go to the channel. Channel is a band. You can choose the band up to the hardware support. Hardware support the 2.4 GHz. 2.4 or 5 GHz you can choose on this. Then you go to the data path. On data path, use the bits on data path this. You can choose the service on bits. With the service, you will deploy to the CAP access point. Everything will set to access point as you should. Then, after you finish configuration the profile, you can go to the position. When you go to position, if you use the radio MAC address 0, 0, 0, 0, it will be the mean every set point must be set configuration on this. But if you want to specify set point like the CAP1, CAP2, or CAP3, you have to specify radio MAC address. If you specify radio on CAP1, you have to got the MAC address from CAP1 and fill on this. And action the create dynamic enable and master configuration. You take the profile as you finish create, go to this. That means this AP will got the configuration profile when the CAP manager connect with CAP the AP. Then after you finish configuration for every profile, you will see I have the 3 profiles. First profile for the coffee shop, second profile for canteen, and third profile for the classroom. So 3 service different on the CAP manager now. Then you go to interface on the CAP Manager menu and just click on the manager and you just enable and okay, it will be on the service CAP Manager service. Okay, we will look about the CAP access point. For the CAP access point, just the configuration to be easy. You just the configuration for the IP management. After you finish the IP management, you go to the wireless. You go to the wireless and click the CAP, and then CAP menu you just enable and select the interface the wireless, and then you fill the IP address of the CAP manager on this. Then you click the OK. That's you finish configuration for the CAP AP. After you finish it, you can take the CAP access point to install on everywhere as you want. So after you finish configuration for CAP AP, use the CAP Manager finish configuration line and the CAP AP finish configuration. You can install the CAP 1 at the coffee shop, CAP 2 at the canteen, and CAP 3 at the classroom. Then the CAP Manager will position the configuration to CAP 1 will set this configuration, CAP 2 will set this configuration, and CAP 3 will set up to this configuration. You will see the SSID for the CAP 1 is the coffee shop, SSID on the canteen to canteen, and SSID for the classroom to the classroom. And 3 service and different network on bits, as I say. So after you connect the CAP Manager with the CAP access point, after CAP access point connect to CAP Manager and already set the configuration to CAP AP, you will see like this at the CAPsMAN interface. This is for the coffee shop, this one for the canteen, and this one for the classroom. And this one at the remote CAP, you will see the IP address of every CAP at your configuration, and you will know with the access points not active on the CAP Manager. If this one is not active, you can let some guys take it back and take the new one to install it. It's too easy for you install the CAP access point. Then this is menu registration table. If the client connect to the CAP access point, you will see every client on this for the CAP registration. Okay, any question? If you don't have any question, you can download this slide for the http the mikrotik.capnetwork.com. You can see the many articles on that. Okay, thank you for your time, everybody.